These are
the
working.
knower of many.
The time is now 7:05, and I would like to call the order of the Beloit City Council meeting. First item of business is roll call.
All councilors are present.
Thank you. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Will it all stand, please? Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3, special orders of the day and announcements. This evening, we have none. Item 4 is public hearings. We have none this evening. Item 5 is public comments. We have reached a point on the agenda where citizens may come forward to speak on items not on the agenda. We do ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. I will not cut you off directly at 3 minutes, but I'll give you a friendly reminder. We do ask you to refrain from personal attack on staff and counselors. If we seem to be going down that road, I would ask you to take your seat immediately. We do have forms that people should fill out if they would like to speak. However, if you did not fill out a form to speak under this portion of the agenda, you may come forward at this time. When you come forward, we ask you to state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone wishing to speak under public comments this evening? Second call, anyone wishing to speak under public comments this evening? Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak under public comments this evening? Seeing none, I will close that portion of the agenda and move to item 6, please.
6 is the consent item. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda.
Thank you. The consent agenda consists of items 6A through 6G. Is there anyone would like anything removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, the consent agenda once again will consist of items 6A through 6G. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Preschel, second by Duncan. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 7A, please.
7A is a resolution approving renewal of alcohol beverage licenses for the license period July 1, 2018 to June 30th, 2019. ABLCC recommended approval 4-0. Now, what you have before you this evening is the annual renewal list for alcohol beverage licenses. Within this list are approximately 777 licensees who have applied for renewals. If approved by the council tonight, we will process these licenses to be distributed prior to June 30th.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Preschel. Is there a second? Second by Blakely. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving item 7A say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. 7B, please.
Consideration of a resolution approving 2017 through 2019 applicants for an alcohol beverage operator's bartender's license for period May 14th through the 29th, 2018. You have before you 5 recommendations for approval.
Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Motion by Forback. Is there a second? Second by Anderson. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving 7B, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 8, ordinances. 8A, please.
Consideration of an ordinance number 3619 to amend certain sections of the Index of Special Locations, Section 13.02 of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit, relating to the removal of parking on Middle Street and North Street and the establishment of turning movements at 4th Middle and 4th North intersections. Traffic Review Committee recommended approval 7-0, and this is the first reading.
Thank you. City Manager Luther.
Thank you. The City Council and the School Board held a joint meeting to discuss the campus at the high school and future plans. And one of those discussion points was the temporary closure of 4th Street between Middle and North as an option to consider for the enhanced safety of our students. What is before you, regardless of any action on 4th Street, are improvements to restrict parking and to have dedicated turn lanes to enhance safety for both our students and for the motoring public. So whether or not 4th Street is temporarily or permanently closed, those improvements should be put into place and make sense for the long term. So that is what you have before you for your decision making tonight, are the dedicated turn lanes and the parking restrictions to enhance public safety. We do anticipate a temporary closure of 4th Street prior to the beginning of the next school year, and we have committed to having additional public information meetings in coordination with the school district prior to those changes being put into place. In order to prepare for that, if this is approved this evening, then we will slate for completion this summer the actual striping and removal of signage or addition of signage that is necessary for these specific improvements to the area. The Public Works Director is here. Either of us would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for making that comment as well. One of the things that I've asked the city manager to do is make that comment, because I know when we had a joint board meeting with the school district and their Board of Education, we wanted to make sure that citizens had an opportunity to see exactly what was planned, not wake up one morning and 4th Street is closed and they didn't know anything about it. So what we wanted the city manager to do is address the issue that even if 4th Street is not closed, that these improvements is still going to be for the safety of that area. So we wanted to make sure that she made that comment for the record. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Jacobson. Is there a second by Forback? Any questions or comments?
I just,
Pressure.
you mentioned it before, Kevin. I was waiting for you to say something, but since we're having discussion, I just wanted to make sure that the residents that do have access along Middle Street, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe that are affected by closing parking on that section of street, that they've been properly notified. At least those people, perhaps as far as our notification radius goes.
Thank you, Councilman Pressure, and I'm sure the Director of Public Works has assured us that we will make sure that the people in that area that's affected will be notified before we actually bring this back for a second reading. So there is a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of approval or referring this for the first reading, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll bring this back at our next meeting. Item 8B, please.
Consideration of ordinance number 3620 to amend certain sections of the Index of Special Locations, Section 13.02 of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit relating to the establishment of a loading zone on Public Avenue. Traffic Review Committee recommended approval 7-0. This is a first reading.
Director Williamson, please.
Good evening. You have before you a request for a loading zone area on Public Avenue, and this is to accommodate the renovation of the addition of a new boutique hotel in our downtown area as a part of our downtown rebirth. It will include a rooftop patio as well, and so the developers requested that we have the loading zone. Traffic review has reviewed this as well as our traffic engineer. We, as a suggestion for traffic safety, have reduced what was originally requested down to 105 feet, and happy to answer any other questions.
Okay, thank you. In order to get this on the floor for discussion, is there a motion to lay this over to our next meeting? Motion by Jacobson, second by Duncan. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of laying this over to our next meeting for our second reading, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 9, appointments. There aren't any today.
There are no appointments this evening.
Item 10, council activities and upcoming events. Councilor Jacobson.
I just wanted to say I had fun at the Memorial Day Parade and also at the Hope Park dedication. The kids are really excited, even though it was really hot last week. And that's all I have.
Councilor Anderson.
I guess I'd second that. Memorial Day Parade was really hot, but it was a lot of fun going out with a lot of you, and some of us got to enjoy a fun ride all the way through the parade route. Someone shall not be named, but also I spoke at Rock University High School and talked to them about being involved. It was a day-long talk with a bunch of different people talking about mental health, drug abuse, and then I came in to talk to them about why it's important to get involved. So anyone who's looking to get involved should, but I think it's really good to have young people that want to do that. So it was a fun discussion with them. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Blakely.
I am very grateful to Councilor Jacobson's uncle, who supplied the City Council with a golf cart for use in the Memorial Day Parade. And although I daily pray for peace in the world, I was happy to be part of honoring those who have given their lives for our country. And I just wanted to say welcome to Professor Sean Gillen from Beloit College and the group of intensive study journalism students that he has brought to council this evening. Thanks for being here, everybody. And good luck in your careers. It's a great time to be thinking of going into journalism.
Councilor Forbeck.
Well, again, just enjoying Fridays in the park, and I have to admit, I enjoyed watching from my window the great Memorial Day Parade. So I know I did my little princess wave from there. And again, it's just so fun, in Beloit. It just, it's fun to have a parade like that and that big and so many, hundreds and hundreds of people watching. It's good for your community. So that's it.
Councilor Presho.
Well, I too enjoyed the watching all of you in the Memorial Day Parade and watching the many people that honored our war dead. Later that night, I stood along the riverfront and watched our firefighters in a very scary fire, at least from my point of view, do a really, really good job up there on the Beloit boxboard fire. I didn't get home till nearly 2 o'clock. And I had to watch fire burning underneath them as they walked along the roof, trying, checking for hot spots and damage. And they'd already knocked one fire down. They were looking for more. And I got to tell you, that was, I kept wanting to say, I want to tell these guys it's right there. But I know you guys knew it was there. You just didn't know exactly how to attack it yet. But everybody was safe. They did a heck of a job. The building's saved. The business looks like it's going to survive. And once more, just like last time at the previous meeting, I saw results from our fire department that were just quite astonishing. So anyway, thanks, and I'm glad everybody's safe. And I want to know who the Iron Man guy was up there I took a picture of. Okay. Thanks, Chief. Thanks, everybody.
Vice President Duncan.
I had I went to quite a few events. First of all, I had the opportunity to participate in the Memorial Day Parade along with my fellow counselors, Anderson, Blakely, Jacobson, and Levy. It was hot outside, but we had a good time passing out the candy and talking with people in the crowd. Also, I had a chance to go to my first tea party at the Villager Gallery and Frame Shop, where Ann Goodwin shared excerpts from her book, and I couldn't remember the title. I have to bring it to the next meeting. But I thought to myself, only in Beloit can you go to a downtown store, drink tea, and meet an author. Meet an author. So that was wonderful. And also, I want to mention that I had a chance to go to the unveiling of the Hope Park equipment for the children. I remember when we did our tour and we went to all the various parks, and that was one that the counselors had mentioned, that we wanted to see something in there, something more for the children there. So I want to thank the Public Works Department and also Laura. You all did a fantastic job. It really looks beautiful, and it was nice to have the children come down from Merrill Community Center to join in. And as I said, it was near and dear to me, so I was happy to see that take place. I also had a chance to join in the Day of Hope. And there were a lot of children and families. And what was really nice is it was nice to have something free and something for people to do. It was so many kids. They were singing and dancing, some of them even getting on the stage. And then I was happy to see Zach D. Now, it was his music that provided the entertainment, but he said he came to a city council meeting. So, Zach, if you're listening, you did a fantastic job. And I also had a chance to go to the farmers market. There are so many booths down there. You can get vegetables. There was even a guy that was selling or a lady selling the different leather belts, and it just has such an assortment. So if you haven't had a chance to do that on Saturday morning, that's a really fun thing to do. And I just want to encourage the public to take advantage of what some of the fun things that are going on. You can go to the City of Beloit website, or you can go to our Visit Beloit website to see what's going on. And also, I hear people saying there are a lot of changes going on in the community, and people really want to feel involved. So last but not least, I'm going to encourage all citizens to please look at the vacancies that are on the City of Beloit website, because there is lots to do, and you can certainly be part of our efforts. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Sounds like a busy couple of weeks. Also, this week or the last couple of weeks, I've been in several discussions with various organizations, various citizens about concerns that they have about the city. But one thing that I like about, especially a meeting that I attended last week, is individuals didn't only bring concerns, but they brought solutions. How can we work together? And that's truly what it's going to take to move the city forward. That we hear a lot of people come forward and saying, here's what's wrong with the city. But it encourages me, and I left encouraged, because what I'm hearing from individuals is, yeah, here's something that we're not comfortable with or we don't like, but here's how we can work together to fix it. And that goes a long way in making a great city. So when you look at the parade and the amount of people that come out, and when you look at what's going on in the downtown, there's great things happening in Beloit all the time. But we have to also make sure that we're addressing all issues that's facing our citizens as well. And one thing I do like about individuals in Beloit, that if there's problems, they're not afraid to put them on the table and say, let's deal with them. And I think that's very important, that there are times that we have uncomfortable conversations as a city. But I think that's important to move the city forward, because truly that's the way to go. We all have to work together. So I'm going to continue to make myself available for individuals who have concerns, but also who have comments about the great things that we're doing. But as council people, I think it's important that as people come to us with challenges, we wrap our arms around it and say, how can we make sure it fits everybody in the city, and how can we make sure that this is going to help move our city forward? So to the individuals that I spoke with the last couple of weeks, to the organizations that I've attended meetings with, I greatly appreciate the input that you're giving us, and I would continue to say continue to do it, because this is truly how we're going to move this city forward. That's all that I would have under council activities and upcoming events. We move to item 11, City Manager's presentation. City Manager Luther.
I don't have a formal presentation this evening, but I wanted to take a moment, which I rarely do, but we have a number of schools in our community that are having graduation ceremonies, and because I'm on both ends of the spectrum, I wanted to publicly acknowledge our tiniest of youth from their 4K graduations on to kindergarten to our high school seniors. My oldest is at Beloit Memorial High School, graduating this coming Saturday. And so congratulations to all of our graduates throughout the community. These are great successes. Beloit College also is one of our partners. So looking at all of those schools in this time of year, it's a wonderful time to enjoy those joint successes for our community. So congratulations to them all.
Thank you. Item 12, reports from boards and city offices. 12A, please.
Consideration of a resolution amending the 2018 capital improvement budget for TID 10 to provide funding for a water main extension project in the Gateway Business Park.
Director Williamson, please.
You have before you a request to utilize funds from TID 10 for the extension of water main from Collie through Gateway, and by your approval of the utilization of these funds, it allows us to install a water main that would assist with water quality issues we have because of a dead-end water main at this point. So we want to loop the system, as well as it poises us for future development in the area by extending the water main. It also allows us to leverage the use of the TID 10 funds.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Jacobson. Is there a second? Second by Anderson. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. 12B, please.
The City Council will adjourn into closed session pursuant to Section 19.85, Parent 1, Parent E, Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, namely to consider an offer to purchase a strip of vacant land near 3437 Dugan Road. The council may reconvene into an open session.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Duncan. Is there a second? Second by Presho.
Discussion. Mr. President, may we have a 2-minute break?
We will go into closed session, have a 2-minute break. I will remind them for the 2-minute break to please go for your 2-minute break and report back to the conference room off of the forum as soon as possible.
So much salad.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We're back in open session now, Madam City Attorney.
Okay, you have before you a resolution authorizing the sale of a vacant strip of land adjacent to 3437 South Dugan Road to Jason and Brianna Washburn. And the sale of that property is subject to a counteroffer wherein the city would reserve an easement for pedestrian and bicycle traffic.
Is there a motion? Motion by, whoa. Slow it down, people. It's just, my little talk last night was right on. Everybody's like right there tonight. Motion by Duncan is who I heard first. Is there a second? Second by Presho. Any questions or comments?
Just for the record, I just want to let everybody know that I sympathize with the Washburns' problem because I am the owner of a 33-foot former planned road that never happened, and it took me 20-some-odd years to get access to it and ownership of it. So I'm deeply sympathetic to their problem, and I'm just hoping they can understand our desire to keep pedestrian bicycle access for the future if we ever do so want it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? There is a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Jacobson. Is there a second? Second by Anderson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.